You're listening to
Tipsy Book Reads.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jess.
And we're
Tipsy.
I don't know why I didn't say it with you.
Well, I didn't say we're. So.
I was going to say, like, depressed. Because, like, this book is so sad.
It is.
Too many books on my TBR. Too many books on my TBR. Yeah. This podcast is like a book club for the antisocial. We make a drink inspired by the book we read and talk crap about life and fictional characters. We really hope you listen and drink along.
Side effects of listening to this podcast may include reading vivaciously, extreme bouts of laughter, tipsiness from craft cocktails, talking shit about life and fictional characters. Listen at your own risk.
Just a warning, this podcast is explicit. We are all over 21 and there are spoilers. We warned ya. Hi.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
This book is rough.
I feel as if someone stabbed me in the heart and like something is missing.
I have thoughts and feelings.
Me too. I just feel very like put my hood on and like don't talk to me vibes. And I knew it was going to happen.
That
and
sucks.
I still feel like this. So I have a question for you though, because there's no way we're getting through this book sober. Oh, what you drinking?
What did we say?
The
M and Dex. Dex and M.
Yep. Wait. There we go.
We had to have champagne, of course. I mean, I feel like that's celebratory, but they just drink a lot of champagne, okay?
It's true. It is true. It's fantastic. This is really good.
It's like a orange mule, right? With champagne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we did... Well, these oranges were supposed to be pink. Okay, lied.
They lied, yeah.
It said they were pink. I bought into the lie. The other package I got, they were pink, so I think these just got mixed up.
They're orange. I mean, they're pink-ish orange. Kind of grapefruit colory.
Yeah,
but not
it's
quite.
still really good. It's just, but so we did that orange juice, vodka, champagne, and ginger beer, and then fresh mint from the plant because our grocery store was all out of like
cut mint.
Yeah, and so I just bought the pot.
A whole ass plant.
Why not?
I've added to garnish your drink. You just buy a whole plant.
I mean, I've got so much parsley. We can't use that. I have so much rosemary. We can use that. So much cilantro in my garden. But do I have anything? The thing is, though, like mint, you don't want to put it in garden beds.
Yeah,
because they take over. But I will say I planted them last year because I had ants in my bed. And
I have heard that it helps.
Killed them all.
Love it.
Killed them all. And I just stopped watering them and stopped caring for that box altogether. Killed all the ants. And then the mint plant died, shockingly. And so, yeah. Fun fact. There you go.
There we go. That's funny. So, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. This is yummy, actually. I do love a mule. It, like, settles my tummy because of the ginger beer. We had a wannabe hamburger helper, like gourmet version.
It was delicious.
But it didn't love my tummy very much, so. It is what it is, though. Worth it. It was delicious.
Hot girl probs.
Yeah, true. Tummy problems. Okay. I literally... Where do we even start?
Ugh. Okay, so start with my spoiler that I gave last week.
Okay, yeah. So
it was not that intense.
It was not that intense.
But I didn't want to like backtrack too far.
You were like him throwing her across.
I said he yeeted her.
He
did.
And then it was
he like newspaper yeeted her.
It's really funny though. He must have been really strong because that's wild.
Really drunk,
really strong, and she must be like a toothpick.
Yeah,
because there's no way. And then he was just like, I suck. I mean, he does. He's kind of the worst. I still don't like him at all.
No. Me neither.
I was kind of rooting for her with the Paris guy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to redeem himself more than he did, and he didn't.
90% of this book, I hated him. The other 10%, I felt
Bad,
horrible for him.
And was like, you need
So much
therapy
help.
and AA and a hug and to grow up.
Yeah. And then Emma to be alive.
Yeah.
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 Man.
Anyways.
Okay. So, yeah, this girl that he threw across the room named Sylvie, which I'm rewatching Loki.
I kept thinking of Sylvie too when
And
I
I
was
was
reading
like,
her name.
Oh no, I love Sylvie though. And then I just only pictured her in this
Yeah.
book.
I think I kind of also, like, as far as like physical components, pictured her that way too, just because.
Sylvie.
Yeah.
That will only and always be Sylvie in my eyes. But yeah, so I feel bad for her, honestly. Although she's kind of a scummy person too.
Yeah.
But she really tried to help him. Like genuinely tried to help him kind of get better. But I don't know if she actually offered help or kind of gave him like ultimatums.
Yeah, it wasn't the most healthy help.
Yeah.
It was just a little control-y, which granted, like, he should do better and put down the booze, but like the way she went about it was also kind of toxic, so not surprised that didn't work.
Yeah. That was weird. I just love Emma. I just want so much for her.
She deserved so much better.
Oh, I just got so attached to her. And love that she's like, all right, here's another wedding and here's a baby coming and and like all these things that are just like hitting that time of life where you're like, I'm happy by myself, right? Yeah. But like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I liked her perspective. And then the whole wedding scene when they like saw each other from across the room, and then he's still like thinking about sex everywhere. Like, what is wrong with him?
Also, Sylvie being like, how many other people at this wedding have you slept with?
So fair.
Have you slept with this bride? Yup.
Honestly, from that moment on, I was like, I may like her actually. She might be not a favorite, but an interesting choice. Yeah, that was really funny. The bride too, and then the fact that Emma knew the whole time. She's like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That whole maze scene and everything, what were your thoughts on that?
I'm so conflicted because I didn't actually want them to end up together. I'm going to be honest, because
Emma deserves better.
Emma deserves better. But in that scene, I was like, if he wasn't dating someone, this would be so freaking cute. This would be so cute. It would be so adorable. Them trying to find themselves through a maze. It was definitely a conversation that they needed to have. And I love the choice of a maze because it's so reflective of this book.
Yeah.
Where that's 100% like who they are, right? Because they can't find themselves through it. They've got people calling them, trying to get them out of there. And then the way that they find it is by like working together, of touching the edge and working their way out and backtracking. And so I think that was a very clever way of being a reflective piece of the book. This makes you feel a lot of feelings. This book makes you feel so much.
It really does. Do you know what blows my mind always? When people think they can get away with sneaking a cigarette.
Oh my gosh. Are you dumb?
Do you know what cigarette smoke smells like?
Horrible.
Everybody's going to know.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody has those days. Nobody's perfect. Okay.
But yeah, I was like, you ain't sneaky.
No, you're not. Everyone's going to know. And don't you think Sylvie's going to kiss you and know?
Same with the alcohol. Every time he tries to sneak alcohol, I'm like, you think she doesn't know?
She knows. 100%.
He's so stupid.
Oh, he is. What did you think of the maze scene?
I thought it was, like you said, like, part of me loved it, and then part of me was, like, uncomfy. And
Hated
also,
that I
like,
liked it.
Yeah. And, like, that awkward kiss.
I was just going to leave that out. Oh, boy.
They just, like, struggle so much. Like, they've both wanted each other this whole time, and the timing for them just keeps not working out.
But, like, it's all him.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of left her to the side.
Yeah. And to Ian's point, always took her for granted and just, like, assumed she was always going to be there and everything. And I understand how she's, like, when they do talk again, even after years, it's like time never passed. Like, that wedding, they kind of just, like, picked up as besties, you know? But, like, she kind of broke off their friendship because she's like, wait, I do deserve better. And then he never really tried to remedy it. Like, he could have had her back in his life way earlier if he would have gotten his shit together and called her. She would have picked up. You know what I mean? Like, I wish he got his shit together and cared enough to make that change.
He didn't.
He didn't call her for years, right?
No, and he didn't even see what he did was wrong.
Right.
I don't think he ever came to a moment of being like, oh, yeah.
Oh, I was a shitty person.
That's right. Okay, my bad. I don't know. I really struggled with that. I mean, I loved this book fully. But I was like, you know, like, I struggled with that. But, okay, so Cullum? Is that his name?
Yeah.
What a dick.
Dang. Yeah. And I feel like at that point, Dexter was at a low. Like, he was, like, you know, used to his fame and everything. And he was, serving in this restaurant and feeling down on himself and everything because, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm in the service industry. But for him to go from, like, being famous to that's, like, definitely a low for him. Like, oh, I'm serving the same soup all day. What is my life? This is great. Like, and trying to make ends meet for his family. And, I mean, he was by no means perfect, but for them to just have their little side thing.
And the whole reason he got that job was because of the side thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That made me so angry. And then the scene where he was babysitting, just
Watching his
taking care
child.
of the child. Which, no, that's really how he viewed it. Like, babysitting.
I legit thought the baby was going to die.
I was so uncomfortable in this scene. I hated it. Absolutely. Couldn't believe his stupidity. And then you find out that she wasn't even where she was.
Nope,
She was
she
off
wasn't.
screwing his friend / boss.
Yep.
And none of that should have happened to the baby. Not putting the blame on her for going to taking a break.
Right,
But, like,
because he should be able to take care of his own damn kid. But also, like,
oh my God, the alcohol. Oh, I'm just having a drink because that's what every parent has.
you can't just have a drink. That's the thing about alcoholism. You cannot just have one. And he never learned that. And, oh my God, when he gave the baby the Benadryl or whatever, I legit thought the baby was going to die. I literally, my text to myself is the baby going to die? Dexter is so dumb. OMG. He's so dumb.
I was scared.
I really thought that's what was going to be his, like, rock bottom, was that the baby died and, like, he went to jail and lost his, like, I thought the baby was going to die, he was going to go to jail, Sylvia was going to divorce him, and that would have been his rock bottom. Like, in that moment, I was like, oh my God.
I'm
He's
really
gonna kill
glad
his
that
child.
that didn't happen. And that
I'm also very
child
glad.
is very happy. But, oh, My gosh, I hated that scene. It was
Yeah.
awful.
I was so anxious.
I was so anxious. It was at the edge of my seat. My stomach was nauseous.
Yep. Especially knowing that, like, we had the precursor that this book was going to be sad. So I was like, oh my God, is the baby going to die?
Yeah, at every turn.
Is this the moment?
Oh my gosh. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
How about during that time period, Emma's reaction to to babies and just everybody around her having babies, and she's like, "I pull my hair out now."
Just
I
honestly,
hate it.
that's so funny. It's so
It was
funny.
hilarious.
I was crackling, and like her going to to their friend's house for a dinner, and she's like, "I get it. I'm not mad that there's not dinner because they had a long day taking care of a child, but I'm hungry." And she's like, "I get it. I'll leave so you can go take a nap. Like, go to bed. It's okay." But then they just kept keeping
She's
her
like,
there.
but it just ain't for me.
But this just isn't for me. Like,
Yeah. These are the rest of my notes on Dexter during that scene. OMG, I hate him. Oh no, not the Benadryl. I'm so anxious.
oh, I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Same.
That would have been truly horrible.
But then it like didn't let us know right away that the baby was okay.
I know.
So when he showed up in France and like had this beard, I was like, oh no, it's his prison beard.
No.
He's been away. He's been away, and Emma's just gonna be like, oh hey love, sorry you killed your baby. You want to get together?
I'm so glad that didn't
I was
happen.
like, oh good lord.
That would have immediately been like a 1-star read.
Do not finish.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Emma in Paris is my favorite thing. She was living her life, learning French. This is gonna be me this summer. I can't wait.
I love that for you.
And I'm just she had a guy, and I just wanted that to work out so
I
bad.
know, she deserved it so much. And Dexter's such an asshole. Like, who is he to get all upset that she finally found a boyfriend? Bruh, you've been
He was like,
First
I
of
thought
all,
it. Go ahead.
sorry. The whole time you guys have known each other, you've been dating different people. You were married, had a kid, and now that you're single and ready to mingle and she has a guy, you're going to get all pissy and act like a child about it?
Like, he just expected her to be there forever.
Yeah. I hate it. Sorry,
Yep.
what were you going to say?
I don't remember, but that's okay. I was just like
Tell me how you really feel.
it was so frustrating because then he's sitting there and he's like, well, I thought that this was it. Like, I thought this was what this trip was. And she's like, what do you mean? I was just getting you out of the house. That was it. Like, what? So, I don't know. Part of me, like, the little romantic side of me is like, oh my God, they had like a summer in Paris together. Like, how adorable. But at the bigger side of me is like,
Fuck you, Dexter.
this is the worst. Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? She could have just been having her little romance with her French guy. Ugh.
Just living her life.
Her
She
life.
literally called him up, lied about being sick, and went and did her thing with Dexter. I'm like, really? Also, I kind of want more details on like their one night together, that previous.
Yeah, what the heck?
It totally skirted right over that.
I was like, oh, hold on. That's the one time that I was like, really? We gotta.
We jumped
This-
real quick.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated that. But then past that, like, I loved the mundane moments that they went over on those yearly and
Yeah.
their growth that they had in the few years of
Yeah,
him
I
like
agree.
opening a business and him actually being faithful
Right?
and getting his life together, taking care of his kid, the love between Emma and Jasmine.
So cute.
Ugh.
They were besties.
Yes.
Yeah, I was mad that she didn't have just her summer French boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm mad that it was Dexter. I liked when they were like joking. She's like, I thought I finally got rid of you. But then I was like, so remember how my prediction was one of mine was that like maybe he died.
Yeah.
So then I was like, is this foreshadowing? Is she gonna get rid of him? Is he gonna die? Like I still kind of thought that. And then like all of a sudden I was like, oh no, it's not him that dies.
You know what also I hate though? That same like day when he's talking about how she makes the same joke about him going to talk to his like work girlfriend Hannah and stuff like that, and then the end like him and Hannah end up together. I didn't like
Yeah.
that at all.
I didn't like that either because it said like yeah, the joke, but then there was another point that said like it was talking about like how he goes about his day, and one of the parts of his day are like harmlessly flirting with the like
Obviously
is
not
it so
harmless.
though. And also like that was one of the things when I was like Dexter really hasn't changed that much and like still doesn't deserve Emma of like I don't know. I just wanted him to have like a 180 transformation, and he like didn't do all that much better by Emma, you know?
No,
Like
I don't think so. I did not like that at all.
not a fan.
Not a fan. Okay, let's talk about her dying. Wow. Also, why am I such a big fan of when people do die in books? It's from their perspective.
Oh yeah.
Like reading it, The Hunger Games, and when Rue dies, and they made the decision in the film to make it her perspective. That's one of my favorite movie moments. I think it's so beautiful and heartbreaking and horrible
Yeah.
and gorgeous, all wrapped up in one thing. And that's like her flashbacks to her as a kid,
Yeah.
and then her over and over being like, Dexter's going to be waiting in the rain for me, and like he's not going to know what happened and whatever. And then the ending just being like, end on whatever, Emma died. Also, I went back and looked. That's the only day it rained. Remember in the beginning of the book when they talked about that specific day is if it rains once, it's going to rain for 40 days. And it's it's never rained on this day.
Dang.
And that's the day it rains. So then I was teary-eyed at that moment. Teary-eyed, sad. Started reading the next chapter. And it's a flashback.
Yeah.
It got me good. Because I was like, oh no, like if in that moment they really ended up together there and he was a different person, like would that have ever happened? And then the other part that got me is when he was like, I didn't just lose like my wife, I lost my best friend.
Yeah. And just like how lost he became again, like it really showed that she was his compass, you know? And there's just some people in life that need a compass, and when their compass dies, they get lost again, you know? And he did.
The scene with his dad.
Yeah.
And they had their little TV dinners together.
Yeah. And Sylvie being the real MVP, and they just like they became friends again, and just her and the dad taking care of him and just being like,
and you know what? Fuck those friends that left him. I mean, I don't care if you have a wife and kids to get home to.
Make sure your friend gets home alive, because at that point he was not on the right track to make it home alive.
No, you make sure he gets in bed. It doesn't matter if he wants to go back out. Nope. Go have a drink with him in his house.
Yeah.
Go make sure he goes to bed. That's horrible.
Yep.
That was awful. That made me so mad.
Ian's letter to him.
That made me
on
cry.
The anniversary. I was like,
I forgot about Ian
Man.
too, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. And he was like, we were never really friends, but I think about Emma too.
That was beautiful. And then the other scene that was really heartbreaking. Let's pause. Let's take a break. We have to take a break, and we want to make sure we talk about this in like good detail. So,
Yes.
We'll be right back, okay? Take a little breaky break. This episode is sponsored by Fern and Fable, and you should go check out their website because they're lovely, and you can buy all their books online. And then if you're in the Ormond Beach area, go check them out. We're back. We're back and we're sad. So we were talking about Ian, and one of the scenes that I felt was very heartbreaking, and it's something that we've talked about before, where like years have passed and like everyone moves on, but you're still stuck in the restaurant, like the great Taylor Swift says. And he goes and he makes all his phone calls
Yeah.
to everyone, like does his due diligence that he doesn't even have to do, really. And like when Ian was like, I'll call you back, and he's like, I know I'll never get that phone call back, like that's not gonna happen. That's such a really brilliant way to show grief affecting everyone,
Yeah.
and how people move on and life keeps going and you're still there, and like it's never really going to be like it was before.
Yeah. I did like how it showed a few consecutive years of the anniversary of her
Mhm.
death, and how like he was obviously making some progress,
He was.
comparatively speaking, but how it didn't just go away, and it was still something that he struggled with. And even like a few years later, he was like, he wanted a drink and he wanted to just drink himself into oblivion. And then he called what's her face and he's like, okay, I need to like check myself, ground myself. And, just like learning those coping mechanisms over the years, but like still showing that he was like still in the thick of it.
Yeah, it's a brilliant book. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I feel like we always, if we're not reading fantasy, we're reading grief. Not
What's
romance,
wrong with us?
just grief.
Yeah, that's true. This is not a romance book. Don't lie to me. Oh boy. I'm gonna take a peekaboo and see if oh my gosh, there's one scene where someone asked Emma like where did she meet her husband, and she replied, we grew up together. They did more him than her.
Well, did he ever actually grow up?
Not sure.
A little bit.
Hey, debatable.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, it sucks that it took Emma dying for it to happen, but I feel like if we were to get more from Dexter, I feel like he's growing up more and more. Like the scenes with him and his daughter. At the end there, I really liked.
When they went back.
Yeah. I really liked that, and I think that maybe he has kind of found his way a little bit. Is not quite so lost.
I love that she remembers Emma.
Yeah.
Of just being like a joy in her life. The walking up the hill again. Beautiful. I saw someone do a video that was like, they make this seem like it's such a light, joyful little walk, and it's like actually a hike. It's a climb.
And he's just always blaming his slippery shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love that he shared everything with her.
Yeah.
I didn't love Hannah being there. Like, why? Girl, go home.
I also loved / hated the scene where he was going through like Emma's things and was just like sorting through and like kind of reliving like some of their time together. And
why did he
stuff.
pick an anniversary to do that?
Yeah.
Trigger on trigger.
It's rough, my dude.
Not recommended. This is why we need to get a therapist.
Yeah.
To walk you through things like this.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Oh, but I loved the pictures.
Yeah, and the glimpses we got because of him looking through all
and
that
how much
stuff.
she saved.
Yeah.
Like everything that was important to her that maybe was mentioned like super briefly in the book, and then it was important enough for her to save.
Yeah. She's Santa Mantle.
She's Santa Mantle. She's
Yeah.
on Santa's mantle.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Anyways.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. Like, literally, someone asked me after I read it, like, how I felt and how I was doing. And I was like, I need 3 to 5 business days to just digest this and to recover.
Yeah. I want to know other people's opinions of Dexter because, like, I still never really liked him. And I feel that he totally did not deserve Emma.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's, like, the consensus or if people were, like, actually rooting for them, you know?
So I'm a little concerned about the show. So we have not watched the show, and we have not watched the movie. We will be watching the show, though. We got Netflix. We gave in. And also, Netflix, screw you for not having a free trial.
Rude.
Literally, so rude. But they don't offer a trial at all. Like, most people even do 7 days.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, gone are the days of 30-day trials. But anyways, I've watched a lot of reactions lately, and I'm concerned that they've over-romanticized Dexter, and that we're once again falling back into the romanticizing red flags. And so, I mean, I don't know. They may have taken his character and, like, actually gave him an arc.
Yeah.
And a development in the show. That could very well be. There were a lot of things in here that are very early 2000s that need to change.
Yeah.
100%. So possibly that is where they're going. So we'll see. And then maybe we'll do a little blog or a mini-sode or something about talking of it. But yeah, I am a little concerned about that because there's a lot of people that were like, where's my Dexter? And I'm like,
red flag.
Not I.
Nope.
Do not give me Dexter. So,
Dang.
yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. We will see.
I feel like there was something else I wanted to ask you. I just got to the point where I was like reading this nonstop and needed to finish it. I even texted Jessica and I was like, when are we recording next? Because
It needs to be ASAP.
I've got to finish this. I don't know. I guess we talked about everything that was important. Dang, I'm going to listen back to this episode and be like,
I should have talked
you
about
dummy. Yeah.
Well, when we do our mini-sode about the show, you can...
Okay. Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Book-wise, I think I pretty much covered it all.
Okay.
0
Rating?
out of 10 stars for Dexter in particular.
Yes.
Because he did not deserve Emma. Emma is a 5-star queen.
Yeah. 0 out of 10 stars for Dexter and a 5-star queen for Emma.
I changed the scale.
They do. They get different skills.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah.
No.
0 out of 10 is worse than 0 out of 5, right?
Yes. 100%.
So, like, yeah.
So, I agree. 0 out of, I'm going to just do the 5-star. 0 out of 5-star for Dexter, 5 out of 5 for the book.
Okay. I'll give it 4.
Interesting.
4 stars.
You're so annoying sometimes. Okay, so.
I wanted to cry more. I don't know.
I don't know how you didn't cry.
There was a tear or two.
No, I was crying. And it takes a lot for me to, like, actually cry. And I was full out crying. I was like, damn, fuck you. Like, Emma should have had so much better.
She should have.
Okay, so Hogwarts House, you did, right?
We did Enneagram.
Okay, so Hogwarts House, I have Emma as a Ravenclaw
I agree.
and Dexter as a Hufflepuff. He's not a Gryffindor. And he's not a Slytherin.
Nope.
He has no ambition in life.
Nope.
And Hufflepuff's, he's loyal-ish. Is he?
He is an outcast.
He's an outcast.
The sorting hat said, I don't know, get out.
He's a Oh my gosh, what's the
He's
one that has the two magical parents and is not?
Oh, he's a squib.
He's a squib. Yep. I mean, fair.
Yeah.
What kept you? What kept you up?
What kept me up? Oh my gosh, that scary storm the other night.
Dude,
I did not sleep.
was that before we went to Savannah Bananas?
Yeah, that
Oh my
night.
God, we went to Savannah Bananas.
It was so much fun.
Literally a 10 out of 10 experience.
Yeah.
The whole drive home, I was like, that was the best time ever. I'm
I
gonna
like-
marry one of them.
I'm trying to reflect on like what the best part was, and I really don't know.
There were
like
so many
anywhere
good
you look, there's so much going on. Like I loved the warming up with a football pre-baseball game. Like I love that. That is so funny.
The random beer pong.
The beer pong game. The like balancing act. The guy like balancing a 6-foot table on his chin.
The absolute getting down to wrecking ball.
Yeah.
All the TikToks that randomly happened in the middle of the way.
The way they were twerking it.
They really said, "You want a show? I'll give you one."
Yeah. No, I think my husband's reaction was the best part.
My mom has brought it up like 8 times.
Just like counting the shirtless men.
He was just a bigger fan of the shirtless men than we were.
He really was. He had the time of his life.
I love it.
But
I
what
have
fine
a video
specimen.
of me like zooming into the field and then zooming out, and it's him going woof and fanning himself.
It's my favorite
I
thing.
just love it, and you're just like giggling. It's so good. But that's a good one. Yeah, that we had such a blast.
It was so much fun.
Shout out to my mother for joining I think it's called the K Club,
Yeah.
when she didn't know what it was. And before like they blew up on TikTok.
Amazing.
She was like, this team came to the local little field and they were so fun. And I got tickets because they were talking about it. And I just joined the club because why not?
Why not? I love
And
it.
now we literally get first
Like
dibs
first
on
dibs on
tickets.
tickets. Amazing. She's a very important banana.
She's a very important banana. I love that. If that doesn't explain her like luck, I don't know what
Right?
does. Like who signs up for something being like, I don't know what it is.
And then it ends up being like top tier.
Like crazy.
Amazing.
And then what kept you home?
This book for sure, reading this, and also rereading Stolen Air in preparation for our next book.
Ooh, that's so exciting.
Yeah. What about you?
So what kept me up was this book. I literally stayed up till like 1 or 2 a.m. finishing it because I was like, you're joking. Like, where's my character development for Dex? Like, she's dead. Like, this
R.I.P..
is wild. And then what's kept me home is getting my spring garden together.
Yay.
So we're pretty much done. I have a juicy tomato getting ready to be picked. And then I didn't do much to my tomatoes, so I fully expect only like literally one. Because I didn't fertilize it. I didn't do anything that I normally do. So it's gorgeous though. It's beautiful.
It's gonna be one great tomato.
And then I planted a bunch of broccoli and they're actually ready to harvest. They're past, they've bolted, and which is annoying because I missed it by like a day going out there. But that's fine. That means just like the seeds have developed on the top. And then what else have I done? Oh, I took home a mystery vegetable from the local nursery that were not tagged. They kind of look like collards, like collard greens. I don't know.
Okay.
So we'll find out. I planted like 9 of them.
Oh, hope you like whatever it is.
Me too, or I'll give them away. It doesn't matter. And then I planted almost 20 onions. So we'll see.
Amazing.
Thanks.
I love it.
I'll give you updates.
Please do.
Yep.
So back to what kept me up, rereading Stolen Air in preparation for
Our next read. It came out of this recording. It came out today.
yes.
So that's exciting. So pick up that book from your local little bookstore Fern and Fable, Writer's Block, if that's in your area. If not, go find your local bookstore. And then,
Yeah, and read The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black with us.
yay! Do you know what chapters we're reading first?
That's a great question.
We
I
can
don't know.
figure it
We'll
out.
post it.
Okay,
Or I can, let's see.
we can do it really quick. Ooh, there's a rain expected in the area, apparently.
Ew.
It's spring, like, get out of here. Like, actually, that makes sense. Spring showers, spring
Yeah, that does make sense.
It's just always raining here in Florida. We're almost there. Do, 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 do. What's the last chapter?
Let's do 1 through 12.
So we're reading 1 through 12, prone to change. No, we're reading 1 through 12,
1 through 12.
which I'm very excited about. And that Mother Truck and Cliffhanger, the last book, I listened to it while I had to drive like a crazy amount for a photo shoot. So I finished the book, like from chapter 11 through the end, all in the drive, and it finished. And I'm really glad it was just me in that car, because I screamed, like, not like, ah, but like, are you joking?
Right?
Like, you better go, turn back around, turn yourself around. Don't
Give
you
me
walk back
something
into the
else.
dark. Turn back around and go talk to him.
Yep. I think.
Girl, is she gonna be the villain? Are we getting a villain story? Like a POV villain story? I'm kind of here for it.
I need to know. So when we took our road trip and we finished like half of it, I think I finished the rest of it like that next day or something. And I think I texted you like, girl.
You did. But I didn't
Girl.
have access to it yet.
Right.
And then I got it.
I just mean like, I was like,
It was crazy. I can't believe you had to wait this long. I'm so glad I waited.
I'm glad I'm rereading.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, I don't understand why, but I've been reading a lot of, or watching a lot of like people's predictions. And I don't know if I missed something, but why do so many people think Jude is pregnant in this next book?
I don't know.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know why though.
Not me wanting to reread Cruel Prince.
But I don't think it had anything.
Maybe they're just like speculating.
Maybe, or maybe did we miss a novella or something?
Oh, so like, I'm wondering because what's the one before the Stolen Heir talked something about Oak is to be king unless they produce an heir, then it'll be like, could potentially be their heir that becomes king, which the plan was for Oak.
Always.
But if they have a kid, maybe they would change their plan. It did say something about that in the last book, something about like
I remember
an heir taking the throne.
But
so maybe that's where they're getting that.
And then there are people who are like, if she's pregnant, like I hate that and blah blah blah. And there are definitely times when I don't like that. But I feel like Jude being a mama bear just makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're also like king and queen, and like let them do their lives if they want to produce an heir.
But I think that in other circumstances, and I won't say what, because there are books you haven't read that I have read where this has come up and it's like,
no.
what?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't, you made a conscious decision to do this to this character at this time?
Right.
But I feel like I'm not mad about that.
Mm-mm.
I still think she's going to be a badass.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
she's a fully formed, developed character.
Yeah.
That Holly Black did a wonderful job developing her in the last series. So I don't have any problem with that. It's when there's like a lack of development and then suddenly there's like so much that could be answered and they're like, oh, well, we're not going to do anything with this character. She's pregnant. Boop.
She's going to have a baby.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't feel like that with this one.
Interesting. I wonder if that's going to be true.
I know. I don't know where. A lot of them though, I was scared, and so I went past them because I didn't want any spoilers for anything else. So I was like,
It's
This
got to
is
be that air comment though, like the producing an
think you're
air
right.
thing.
Interesting. What are your thoughts? Let us know. Comment, like, subscribe. We are YouTube girlies now.
Yeah.
So go do that because TikTok and Instagram is
They hate us.
screwing us over. So they do hate us. Actually, it's wild that we have as many followers that we have and the
Horrible interaction.
horrible interaction, but also like our insights are literally only 20 people are seeing them. What are we doing wrong? So, anywho, go find us on YouTube because YouTube likes us way more. We love you.
Stay tipsy.
Bye.